Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly developer diary. So for this week, I've not really got tons to show you right now, because as I mentioned last week, with Soulbound's development wrapping up, I've just took this past week to basically just have a bit of a break after that big group project. So there's probably going to be a bit of a shorter one, but first I'm going to start off by showing this little trailer which one of my group members made, and I think it turned out quite well. So I thought I'd just showcase this real quick. So as you can see, it shows some of the prologue arts I made, which all came out really well. And then once it's quickly shown all them, shows a bit of text, and then just shows basically just a ton of clips of gameplay. Because our course leader asked us and one of the other groups to just, after like a week or so, send him just like a short gameplay trailer of our games, just so we could show it off to some people. But yeah, I quite like those little transitions. And obviously it's nothing super high quality or professional or anything like that, but it gets the job done. It's just showcasing the gameplay. So as you can see, he's got a few clips there showing all the different enemy types, as well as just various clips of gameplay, and then just the title screen out. So that's just a little trailer that one of my group members ended up making, and I think it turned out quite well. Other than that, again, I've not really got tons to show, but I thought I'd show you a little bit of the art I'm doing on my games research system work, because I'm working on that right now, but I don't want to show too much of it, just in case, because I don't think I'm meant to disclose a ton of stuff about it. But there's no issue with me just showcasing some of the art I've made for it. So as you can see, I'm not going to say what these are going to be used for in the game, but as you can see, I've got this dragon art enemy here, which I think's turned out quite well, because I'm using for the tile set, I'm using some of the tile set that I have that I'm planning to use in my final year project, which I'm going to start working on soon. So as you see, I've been using these tiles that I've created in a previous dev diary. So then basically this dragon would just be something placed in there, or in the world. And I think it's turned out quite well. I quite like how sort of like big and chunky it seems, compared to if I get this player template, for example. So it's a fairly good size compared to the player, and I quite like this small little scale texture I've got on it with these darker and lighter shades of red. And all in all, I think this dragon art's turned out quite nice. Other than that, I've been using this player template I made to just create some basic player animations, and now I'm just making some edits to it. So as you can see, I've given it a sword and shield, as well as just some other tweaks to the shirt and the eye colour, because they wanted it so it could have the player character would have a sword and shield in the game. Then other than that, I've just been creating a few just little NPC art. So I can see I've got a little sheep man here, I've got a little skunk man, and just like a couple of the little NPCs in this similar art style. I can see I've got a little beetle man here. But other than just doing some of my games research system work, I've also been talking to some friends about potentially taking Soulbound to something called Transfuser, which is essentially what Transfuser is that you take your game idea and you go through some approval processes, and essentially you get granted £6,000 in funding to create your game over the summer. So we've been discussing about whether we take Soulbound and try and potentially take that to Transfuser, Because apart from that, you also get to showcase your games in front of industry professionals, get some feedback off them, get some practice pitching games and game ideas, and there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot in it, and there's also much later on in it. There's potential to take your game to in-person events and have your own little booth where you showcase your game off, as well as potentially getting granted more funding or potential to find a publisher in future. Those would be much later down the line. But essentially, I've been discussing with some of my friends on my course on whether we do take Soulbound and try and take that to Transfuser. Right now, I'm definitely leaning towards it, but the only issue is it is quite a big commitment. Because it's essentially going, once I finish uni, instead of going and applying for jobs where you'd get, full-time paid, you're doing this unpaid work over summer. Obviously, there are benefits and drawbacks to each. It's just a big commitment either way, and just making sure, everyone in a specific group is, who's definitely wants to be in it and who doesn't. Because, for example, six grand is a non-trivial amount of money to get given to help you develop your game, and that's big. But that's not going to pay your bills, for example, for like a group of 4, 5, 6 developers. That's mainly money that would be spent on outsourcing music, outsourcing marketing, and a gameplay, not gameplay, maybe like an animated trailer, that sort of stuff. It would be mainly like outsourcing work and marketing costs. Whereas that's not something that's really going to be able to pay you, for example. But then the trade-off comes with, you probably get payment when you actually release your game, and if your game does succeed. But again, it's very much, right now I'm definitely leaning towards it, because my thought process is, I'm probably going to be working for a big company making games until I'm old and grey. So I might as well take this opportunity while I can, because I could just straight away get a job and start getting paid for that, but I can do that for the rest of my life essentially. So that's my viewpoint on it. And also I go, you're not going to get another chance to get given money to help you develop your game unless you went out your way to start your own Kickstarter, for example. And that's another potential thing. Maybe we took this to Transfuser, and then after that maybe take it to Kickstarter or something along the lines. But all in all, there's definitely, this week has been very much not doing too much development and just thinking about the future, especially with my last unit coming up. Because my last unit is the turn-based strategy RPG that I'm creating, and that is, I checked the deadline, I think it's due on the 20th of May. So I've got, right now, 2 months and a week exactly until I've just completely finished doing uni work. So it's very much right now, it's, I'm looking at some jobs, I'm deciding where I want to take that or Transfuser, seeing which of, some people on my course want to do Transfuser and who are on board with that, who are, a bit shaky on it, because again, is a big commitment going, oh, you should work on this, do you want to work on this game idea with us, instead of just taking a safer route and just going straight into a job, for example. So it's been very much just thinking about the future this week as my uni time sort of comes to a close. But I think that sums everything up for this week. Again, for next week, I might have some stuff to show on my final year project. If I might just create some more art for it, as well as just discuss a bit more about it in depth and what's changed since I last started doing some work on it. But all in all, I think that sums up everything for this week. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next week. Alright, peace.